Hello everyone. In this session, we'll be talking about the circle view in Tableau. A circle view is a unique and engaging data visualization technique that uses the circles to represent the data points and their relationships. It is an excellent choice when you want to display the data in a circular format, which can be visually appealing and provide a different perspective to your data set. In a circular view, data points are represented as a circles, and their size or position within the circle can convey the information. The arrangement of circles can form the patterns or highlight relationships between these data points. Circle views are particularly effective for visualizing the hierarchical data or the data within the radius structure. During our practical demonstration tab, we will explore how to create these circle views to visualize the data points and their relationships effectively. You will also learn how to assign the dimensions and measures to control the size and positions of circles, customize the labels and colors to enhance the clarity, and create some interactive elements to engage your audience. Whether you are visualizing the organizational hierarchies, network connections, or any dataset with circular relationship, circle views provide a visually engaging and informative way to communicate your data-driven insights. So let's go to the Tableau screen and see how we can create the circle. So I'm in my Tableau view, and if you go to the Show Me option, here just after the tree map, you can see I have the circle views. To create a circle view, I need one or more dimension and one or more measure. If you look closely and if you go to the horizontal bars, it is very similar to the horizontal or vertical bars. There also we were trying to take any dimension and the other measure, and we were able to create those bars. In a similar way, we'll be using these dimensions and measures to create our circle views. So let's try to create a circle view. Let's say I'm taking the shipping mode versus the sales. And instead of the text table, I want the circular view. I'll click on the circle view and it would give me the circle. On the right hand side, you can see the various color codes that are given to represent these particular shipping mode. For example, if you look at the darker shade, it is showing me the standard class. If you go with the lighter shade, it is giving me the first class. So basically, this is the first class view that we are having, and the darker one, this one is the standard class view. Now, looking at this, it seems quite complicated. It is not easier to understand. So what can I do is I can drag this in column views. And this column views can give you a different perspective this time. But it is still too complicated to understand. So why is it happening? Since I'm having a single dimension and a single measure, this kind of thing can appear. So it won't matter whether you are having it in the column shelf or in the row shelf. This would be quite complicated to see. Now, if you want to see a simplified version of it, what you can do is you can try to add one more dimension over here. Let's say this time I'm going with market. Now I'm in my Tableau screen and we will be looking at how we can create these circle views over here. If I go to the show me menu, here you can see I have this circle views just beside the tree maps. So to create a circle view, I need one or more dimension and one or more measure. If you look closely, it is quite similar to the bars. So whenever we are creating the horizontal bars or vertical bars, it would be behaving in a similar way. The only difference would be there we were able to see the data with the help of bars, and over here we will be looking at the same kind of data with the help of circles. So let's try to create a circle. For that, this time I am taking the shipping mode. So double click on shipping mode and then I can take the profit. So I double click on profit. To convert this chart in the circle view, I can then click on the circle views and it would give me the shipping mode wise sales or profit. Here, the circle, which is lighter in shade, is representing the first class. The darker one is representing the standard class. If at any point of time you try to change the colors of it, you can do so by going in the colors, clicking on edit colors, and you can choose a different kind of color shade. Instead of the palettes, you can try to choose the automatic option, and this would assign different colors to different kind of shipping modes over here. So it would be easier for us to identify. If a value is not similar, then it's of no use to assign the similar kind of color palette over there. It makes our visualization confusing. Now, on the right hand side, I have this legend where I can easily verify which color belongs to which shipping mode. So this is one of the way to create the circle views. Now, at any point of time, if you feel that you can increase or decrease the size of this particular circle because it is not entirely visible, you can do so by going in the size option and increasing the size from it. And this would help you to increase the size. This circle is still empty and this is not showing an exact value. I still have to assume a value when I'm looking at this circle. So to show the exact value, I can go in the labels. I can then click on the show marks labels and then it would show me an exact value. Still, some values are being neglected. This is because these values are too close and also these are unable to fit inside the circle. So these kind of things would be happening with you, and there you have to adjust your visualization manually with the help of these formatting options and look at which particular formatting option suits the need. So let's go to the size again and try to decrease the size. And we have to decrease the size a lot. Then only it will try to appear. But still it is visible. So the next option that I can perform on the top of it is choosing a different shape. So since it is a circle view, we have to stick with the circle view. But if I choose to choose any other kind of shape, I can do so by going in the shape option. And this time I can choose a filled circle. This would make my visualization look good, and also it would be easier to identify the shipping modes and the sales which it is doing or the profit which is doing, whatever values you took in the dimensions. So this is the other way in which you can create the circles. Let's say this time I'm trying to take another measure also. I'm taking sales. So I can double click on sales, and both of these things will be appearing on the top of your visualizations. Now these values are based on the sales versus the profit graph for each of my shipping. The circles are same. There are four circles, but now it is a sales versus profit. What if I drag this over here in rows? Now you can see I've got these side by side, or I should say one on the top of other. So it would be then easier to compare. You can also try to swap it between the rows and columns if you want to see a side by side view, and it would make it easier for you to compare the values. Also, you can again adjust the sizes from over here, so it becomes easier to understand each value. This is the other way of creating the circle. So in the circle views, we saw how to create a circular view chart, what are the dimensions and measures that we can use, how we can change the size, how we can adjust the labels, how we can add different shapes towards it, and what are the color coordinates that we can use if we don't want to stick with the single palette. So I hope this was clear to you. We would be meeting in the next session where we will be talking about the side by side circles. Thank you.